Hello, everyone. Oh, there's a little bit of cutoff. I'll fix that. As you may notice, as I fixed this to not cut off her Discord icon, today we have a very special guest on, only available in a select few boosters. Nicole Tipple.
Hello, I am only available in a select few booster packs.
Or something. What are the special guests for the next set? It's like the like old cons cards or something. But anyways, um, we're going to lab some Pixie versus Omniscience today, I believe, as our plan.
I agree.
My deck list does have Omniscience in front of me.
Nicole, do you want to say a few words about Omniscience?
Sure. This is a combo deck. It plans on trying to get an Omniscience in your yard and then reanimating it with Abuela's Awakening, and then casting 2 copies of Invasion of Arcavios to eventually get Towning big enough and haunt the network and loop them and kill your opponent. It is pretty resilient, kind of shockingly to a deck of this nature. Like, you would think that you could just like do something to the Omniscience, but because the Omniscience enters as a creature, like a lot of the time you can play a second Omniscience, and then they can only answer one of them, or you have Confounding Riddle as a counter spell once the Omniscience is into play, and you've got like a Forest Dismissal, and so it ended up being that with the amount of cards that you have for selection, that once you got this out on the field, you basically always won the game, as early as like turn 4. And it's fairly consistent, and it's pretty cool.
Would you say you're playing the qualifier weekend with Omniscience this weekend, or not really?
I think I'm likely to play the qualifier weekend with Omniscience. I played the best of one with Omniscience, mostly because Pixie's a pretty bad best of one deck. And Pixie is kind of my home ground. And after playing it, I really do think this deck just does like some fundamentally broken things. I am actually super interested in this. I want to mess around with like the sideboarding a lot because I have only played mostly best of one, and I get to spend some time playing this deck with Sean tomorrow, who has played a lot of it. So that'll probably be my final decider. I would definitely play either this or Pixie, but I'm leaning towards Omniscience.
Nice.
I'm probably going to be doing one of two ill-advised things. The first one is not playing the qualifier weekend. The second one is playing with Saragon in closed deck list. But
It will definitely require me remembering to wake up.
See, I have an excuse this time for not playing the qualifier weekend. I'm judging something on Sunday. Is this a good excuse? Who knows?
Who knows? Anyhow, I am hopefully going to be playing Pixie. I will especially be playing Pixie if this goes well. Before the stock up thing, I was like, Pixie is a nice deck. Pixie is a very good deck, but it's kind of like luck reliant, a little bit luck reliant on like having good opening hands and top deck and flash or top decking well. And then after we added stock up to this deck, it seems I really like this deck now. Like it like extremely vibes with me. There are some properties of the list I will be playing, or we will be starting with, I guess. There are currently like 2 Duresses, a Ghost Vacuum, and a Stone Brain in the sideboard. It's unclear if you can afford 4 sideboard slots, but I think you can afford 3 at least. Or like you should try to have at least 3 for this matchup, considering it might be one of your harder matchups. I'm not sure how to evaluate the sideboard cards against each other.
That's what we're here to find out.
Yeah. And yeah. So do we want to just get into it?
Sounds good to me.
Great. So
Okay.
we're going to rudely kick out Nicole while if we're for our matches so that we can freely discuss lines and such. But
Okay, bye bye. Just tell me
we'll
when to rejoin.
yeah, we'll have you back at the end. Bye, Nicole.
It was
Thanks.
nice to say hello.
Bye.
Go off into my lonesome.
Unfortunately, we do not have the advanced technology to have the Omni side as well on screen.
Mhm.
So so yesterday, which was a Tuesday, I went to an RCQ with Saragon, and I did very well at this RCQ, and I played once against Omni. Now, I maybe built my Saragon deck to be good against Omni to an unhinged degree. Uh, yeah, it's a Tuesday RCQ. Uh, but my experience was that the Stone Brain was like unbeatable.
Mhm.
Well, like
I'm
if the activation resolved.
I'm worried that like one, it costs 4 mana, and also two, um, this deck is less good at beating Riptide, Gearhulk, or random stuff like that than
Yeah.
uh
To be fair, my opponent
Saragon.
also didn't have Riptide Gearhulk in their deck at post board at least. Or at least I didn't
Yeah.
when I did it in game when I used Stonebrain in game 2, they did not seem to have boarded in Riptide Gearhulk.
Mm-hmm. That sounds probably like the correct move against your deck.
Mhm.
Okay, we have a 6. Should we go to 5?
Okay, so we know we're against Omni.
Yes.
We're on the draw. What are we looking for? We're looking for like good pressure and like destroy evil? And like are we looking for like nightmare draws or like
Um,
because if we're looking for if the things that we're looking for is to have like some form like maybe some form of interaction to hold up at some point and then also has to have good pressure, this hand theoretically gets there if we draw a black land off the top, right?
I agree. I think this is too close to being a good hand to mulligan.
Yeah, that's my impression. Like my impression is that we maybe should keep this hand with the knowledge that like we might just lose to lands, right? But like
Mm-hmm.
we might just lose to like never drawing anything relevant, right? On 5.
Yeah. And also, what you should know is that the Gix's command could be the 24th land. So,
Nice.
much to consider.
Well, I mean, it seems like we didn't need it. At least not
Hmm.
yet.
Okay. Let's cast Hopeless Hanger, shall
I
we?
agree. Um, I assume we're treating this as an open deck list.
Um, we should maybe treat it as closed deck list, considering the next relevant standard deck list is closed deck list.
Okay.
However,
That's
we
fair.
do do like factually know the list, so maybe we should
Well,
just treat it as open deck list,
well, to be
considering
fair,
we.
well, okay, here's a question. Do you know the list? I don't know the list.
I have glanced at the list, certainly.
Same. That's not the same as knowing the list.
Okay, so we could choose not to attack the player as far as dispersal, but I think that's bad because it doesn't use the mana efficiently.
Yeah, I agree we should attack.
And then there's moment of truth anyway.
Yeah. I think mostly what, as far as dispersal means, is like we should like bias towards putting counters on like Pixie, probably,
Mm-hmm.
over that
Oh.
other thing. Obviously, we couldn't
Mm-hmm.
have put a yeah. There's no way to put a counter on the Pixie this time for this nightmare, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like next, like assuming there's no like archaeologist to block, next turn I would definitely put the counter on Pixie if given the choice.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an Omni in the graveyard?
No.
Not yet.
So there are some problems. One problem is if we cast Hopeless Nightmare, we might put an Omniscience into the graveyard and then die.
So the default play is Fear, pick up land, replay land, play Nightmare, right?
Probably.
And then
So that
deals 8 this turn, right?
yeah.
Without the Nightmare, it deals 5.
Yes.
If we deal 5 and then have 7 power in play, how good is that?
I guess we're not very scared of temp lockdown because we have this as Roy Evil.
Okay, I vote we don't Nightmare.
Okay, we can not Nightmare.
It's awkward because we did draw a second Nightmare.
Yeah.
So like this might really limit our like mana. But like I feel like we're at the point now, like I feel like our clock is like good enough that we can like, just like attack this next turn and then attack the turn after or something. Also, I like that if we draw a black land, we like theoretically have lethal. Theoretically.
Yeah. It's somewhat theoretical.
I agree.
Okay.
Okay, there's still no Omni in the graveyard, right?
I agree.
Okay. Want to cast. Okay, so there's no way to go off next turn. Or I guess Dispersal theoretically could surveil one into the graveyard. But I don't think we can avoid that.
I agree.
So, Momentum Breaker?
Sure. Where do you think this counter wants to go, considering that we're scared of Dispersal?
What if we put it on Scavenger so that we don't need to like deal with future like Like I feel like it's not actually that good to put it on Fear because like a Fear is a good enough. I feel like I'd rather get Scavenger bounced than Fear, I guess.
Okay. I think that kind of makes sense.
Because of our mana situation. It would seem as though we are getting dispersed.
I agree.
Okay. Looks like we're not dead. I like that that's not temp lock.
I agree. I wonder if it was wrong to play Momentum Breaker instead of Nowhere to Run, because if there's a lockdown, then like.
Oh, then it discards a card?
Yeah.
I think that's a little fake, but.
I agree it's a little fake. Okay, well.
What if we start by attacking?
It seems like we should start by attacking. Because anything except 2 dispersals is a win.
Or dispersal plus pierce or something.
Is there Pierce?
I don't know. Let's play land.
I can't imagine Omniscience playing Pierce. But,
My opponent had 2 sideboard pierce.
oh.
Nicole asks, should I concede if I'm dead?
Eh.
I'm gonna say it seems quick enough here.
Yeah. Okay, well, let us board in some sideboard cards.
Okay, so we are sideboard.
Oh, are we?
Do you want to?
I want to play a mix of freeboard and postboard games, and I feel like the classic way to do this is to just play matches.
Yeah, I'll communicate this to Nicole. Okay, yep, we're sideboarding.
Okay, you can choose to bring in Loran for a temp lockdown, exactly, pretty much.
Okay, so, wait, why are we cutting nowhere to runs and not momentum breakers?
Oh, yes, you should do that. Okay, I think clearly, like, you can start somewhere like this. And then you can consider this card. If you have more Destroy Evils than 2, for example, if you choose to Feathersism over Loran, then Destroy Evil against Nowhere to Run is kind of interesting, because, like, Nowhere to Run can help you get rid of blockers. But Destroy Evil kills Riptide Gearhook, so, and Temp Lockdown, so.
I think Destroy Evil is better than Nowhere to Run, but do we really have like more things to cut?
Well, it's more like it's mostly just like, do you want Nowhere to Run, third Nowhere to Run, or like first Loran or something?
I think maybe we want first Loran. I definitely would not play multiple Loran.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't. Okay. I don't know how relevant the Gearhulk is.
I would say it's a little relevant. It's not like a huge problem or anything, but like it's a card that like doesn't not matter, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like killing the Omni on the board is very fake.
I feel like it's. I don't know if it's very fake, but it is a little fake. I assume this is a keep.
I would like to keep this and play Talent on one.
I agree.
And then next turn we can like duress vacuum them, maybe. We don't even need to vacuum now. Like we should lead on duress and see what's up.
Yeah. Okay, let's lead on duress because we could go Pixie Talent, but that's bad into lockdown. So I think we should lead on duress.
I think we want information.
Moment in response, which I assume means moment is the castable spell. Okay.
I propose we take. This is actually interesting.
I agree.
I propose we take Riddle.
Okay, and then do you want to play Pixie or do you want to play Tapland?
Probably Tapland.
Okay. Sure.
Like, my thought is we take Riddle to play Tapland, and then, like, next turn we just stock up.
I think I like that.
Hmm. Okay, well, next I might want to play Ghost Vacuum next turn now.
Wait, why?
Oh, wait, is there a Omni in the graveyard? I guess not.
No.
Okay, never mind.
Okay, so we could. I think I want to just cast stock up.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's very nice to like bait the omniscience getting discarded and then like.
Yeah.
Okay, those are not that good.
Uh,
I assume we want untapped land.
I like untapped land. Can we take untapped land Restless Reef?
We could take Restless Reef.
Just like want to hit my land drop here, I guess, instead of like having an hour to run. Like we have a talent.
Yeah. It is relevant that like to have two pieces of interaction sometimes. Like basically like
I just
it's
get the
pretty.
feeling that we're not. I get the feeling that we're not playing that kind of game.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Okay,
Okay,
well, there's the
well,
Omni.
are we now more playing that kind of game?
No, we're like I claim we're playing the Exile Their Omniscience kind of game, right? Is the lag on your end or my end? I guess that's hard to know.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, what's in their graveyard now?
Okay.
Or what's in her graveyard now?
And omniscience is
Okay.
what is in the graveyard. Okay.
How do you feel about vacuum stock up?
I would like to vacuum stock up. Let
Yeah,
us
I guess we
stock
can
up
stock a
first.
vacuum, but
Okay. Let us take. Well, I guess Gearhook would be a little bit annoying here, but maybe kind of deals with it just as well as.
we could take Kaido Loran.
Oh. I guess we could do that. Sure. Let's take Kaido. Untap land is nice, but I guess like not like totally necessary.
Maybe we should take on tap land. Oh well.
I think it makes sense to have like Kaido Loran. Like there's literally a chance to lock down, for example.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, fair enough. Do you think that lockdown is going to be temporary this turn?
Unclear. Maybe. Blast zone. I see.
Okay, well.
Okay. Well, let's exile omniscience.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to suggest that lag is on my end, by the way.
Okay. As in, like, the lag is happening live, like, on your arena, as opposed to through the Discord transmission?
Yes.
Oh well.
Okay. So we have some options now.
Destroy Evil ain't... Okay. Okay, I have a proposal. A
Okay.
modest proposal, if you will. Destroy Evil against their lockdown is more powerful than Destroy Evil on a resolved omniscience. What if we don't Loran the lockdown?
Is your plan to just pass?
No, my plan is to play Kaido this turn, like go shields down for one turn,
Hmm.
because like
We could die,
yeah, I
but
agree that we
it
could
might be
die.
right. Okay. Do you want to surveil or plus?
I don't know.
What if we're ahead by enough that we don't need to go shield down for one turn?
Well, the thing is like, okay, so the problem is what happens if we ran the lockdown and then like blast zone happens? Then I don't think we're ahead then, right? Like we no longer have an answer. Like we have destroy evil to Tabe in hand, but like it's like pretty slow because we have to like hold up both.
Yeah. Okay, we can just cast Kaido. Do you want to plus or surveil?
Uh, I think plus.
Okay. I agree. Just play Pixie no target is also an option. Negate.
Okay.
I see.
Like I almost wonder if this is a case of like this temp lockdown is not necessarily positive,
Hmm.
or like a
Okay,
short term
nice. We didn't
positive, but
die.
like you know.
Hmm. Okay, now I'd like to know the rant, I believe. And then just pass. Or, yeah, because if this last one gets cracked, then we can, like, save our stuff.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. The Randolphs
Also,
might
I
just
think I'm
get
going to
countered.
register. Mhm. Oh, I guess that is true. Kind of forgot about that part.
That's fine. You just let that resolve and pass.
I guess our situation is kind of awkward now, though.
No, I agree. We might really get her though.
I agree,
Come on,
but,
reveal a
like,
nominee. Reveal a nominee. Go for it. Tap out and go for it.
the problem is that if the blast zone gets held up forever, then, like, our fixies are kind of,
Well, we can just like for example, next turn, like once we draw a land, like it's really nice to just like animate Anchorage attack.
hmm, I guess.
Okay, well there's an Abuelos.
Do you think it's a bad idea to proactively destroy evil here?
I think it depends. I think I think if an Omni gets put in the graveyard, I would. But if there, since there isn't, I think I would just pass.
Okay. Hmm. Do you want to play a 2-3-5?
I kind of do.
Okay. Let's play a 2-3-5. Do we want to play any more flyers? Probably not, right?
Probably not.
I never tried to play this game like going this long before. Kind of interesting.
Was there an Omni milled? I couldn't tell what the first card was.
No,
Oh, it's
no.
evasion. Okay.
Okay, now do we want to destroy evil?
Um, like there's still no Omni in the graveyard.
I understand. So, like, I feel like what is about to happen is that Arcavius is Arcavius is Arcavius Town fairly going to like start doing something?
Kind of. Okay, yeah, I guess we can destroy evil a thing. Yeah, I think this
Well,
is the right time to destroy evil. I agree that Arcavius is going to start like trying to be a fair card.
I'm not sure I like it. It's kind of complicated.
I think we need to be able to do something.
Okay.
I think we don't have enough pressure. Like this might just get
Obviously,
countered.
this could just yeah.
But like I think that's fine when like they have more when she has more mana than we do.
Okay. That is not exactly the most helpful. Should we hold up two things, or should we like try to get a 2/2 into play? I guess we could exchange our 2/3 for a 2/2, and then next turn we can. Next turn is easier.
What if we just like put two or what if we put the two into play and also replay the 2/3 and like not hold up two things? There's like not that many cards in hand.
Well, two of them are like the known useful cards.
Well, yeah,
I guess
but like there's no Omni in the graveyard, mostly.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. Okay, I have an opinion. I think we should also play a 2/2. Also play a second 2/2.
Even though it gets blast zoned.
Yes. I actively want the blast zone to occur.
Okay.
Right?
I guess that makes sense. I suspect that this Arcavios is going to pick up a like stock up or something.
Oh, I guess that is possible.
Now, is there an Omni? I still couldn't see the first card mailed. No.
No.
Okay, but there's a stock up.
Yes.
Maybe. Oh, I guess in response to Blast Zone, we just like pick up our stuff.
It's not obviously useful,
Mm-hmm.
but it is a legal game action.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about 10 mana cast Omni?
It might occur.
I agree.
You could argue you're supposed to play counter magic. I kind of hate counter magic, but like
Kept on top.
okay, well, we could cast this or we could cast nothing. The problem with casting this is that probably you want to like replay an untapped land, and then
I think cast nothing makes the most sense to me.
okay.
I don't know.
That's a strange game.
Yeah, I agree. Where are the Omnis? Like at this point, I'm suspecting there's an Omni in hand.
Yeah.
Which could be cast next turn.
Okay, well, I kind of expect that to be an Omni in hand, yeah.
Okay, well, I guess we're passing.
Okay, so one move we could make is bounce the lockdown, activate our talent, attempt to return duress, and discard the omniscience.
That seems really bad by the fact that we activate talent and then Blast Zone happens.
Yes, but then there's one less land in play. It's not a perfect plan, to be clear.
I think that this is a bad plan.
Okay, like.
I will also okay. By the way, I would like to note that theoretically you can disrupt. You can theoretically disrupt the Arcavios loop with a ghost vacuum. By the way.
Okay.
I would like to cast Fear bouncing a Pixie. Or is it no, maybe bouncing a land.
Do we want to not cast this talent? I guess we're probably not casting this talent.
The talent doesn't seem like it does anything. I guess it gets back to rest maybe. But I don't really care about the talent.
The problem is that I feel like this turn is when the Omni will be cast.
I agree.
And then things will happen. And I feel like we are not stopping it.
Oh, I guess we should have maybe cast talent for bouncing it reasons. Okay. Yeah, that was probably wrong. Okay, there's the Omni.
Oh. Okay, so.
Okay. We're gonna enact the plan.
Well, another option is. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, so assuming that we're going to try to be not a counterspell, we should let this resolve and let Arcavius get cast, and then bounce both omniscience by paying 5 mana.
Yes. That is a play.
I believe that is what I.
So okay,
I believe
we
that
have
is what
two
I would like to
options
do.
here. We have two options here. So the other option we can take is the really funny option, which is let Arcavius resolve. It's going to get stopgap, probably. And then in response, stopgap will then bounce Arcavios, and in response to the second Arcavios, we bounce the lockdown and exile the stopgap.
I feel like this is worse.
I agree. This is probably worse, but it's really funny, and it has a decent chance of stopping them actually. Of stopping the combo actually. Is how I'd put it.
Do you think? Okay, I have a mere determination regarding my deck list. By the way, I'm going to play third Destroy Evil over first over Loran or over second Loran.
Mm-hmm.
Considering I feel like I don't want Loran in this matchup, and I do want 3 Destroy Evils.
Yeah, to be clear, the the line I was suggesting is like clearly worse than the bounce both on these line. But theoretically, what it would force Nicole to do is to get a stock up and then dig for another Arcavios, which is like they're somewhat likely to work, but not. But like it's a line you can take. It is technically a line you can take. That uh that does something. Like if you didn't have 5 mana there, for example, or if there was a third Omni cast or something.
Well, no, you can just get this town and bounce a Falahi and right. Okay.
Uh
I, I assume this
oh
is a keep.
oh sure, I guess that works. That works. Never mind. Okay.
I assume this is a keep. Obviously, we could die,
Yeah,
but you know.
I agree. This is a keep. Um, I get like you. I guess you need like 2 ghost vacuums for that kind of line.
Interesting.
I guess we're
And
supposed
as
to
far as
do
the social
talent,
was just, I
right?
like talent. Yeah. And then I think we're just picking up talent.
Yeah. Well, we should attack first.
Well, if we wanted nightmare, then we should cast a nightmare first.
Oh,
But
oh, sure, sure. I did not want a nightmare. I guess this is worse until like lockdown. I don't know if there's lockdowns main deck.
well, there are definitely lockdowns main deck. It's like the question is whether it's worse.
Yeah.
I would say, and it's not obvious.
It's definitely better into not lockdown.
Okay. Well, so far there's not a lockdown. What are we doing?
Do we need to cast a nightmare? If we
How
don't,
much do you want to?
hmm?
How much do we want to respect Riddle into lockdown?
Like, what's your proposal?
We could cast like nothing.
Nothing seems
That
really
might be
bad.
unhinged. Okay, do we want to cast Scavenger?
Right. So if we cast nothing and just attack for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like I guess if we cast nothing and attack, we do still have lethal next turn into also nothing. That just seems like very improbable.
Yeah.
I would like to
Okay. Do you
cast
want?
something though.
Okay. What would you like to cast?
I would like to cast a. I would like to cast a talent.
Okay, just talent, not Scavenger.
That's a good question.
Does Scavenger like? I'm worried that Scavenger doesn't like do that much if you don't cast it.
Okay, sure. We can cast
And there's a
Scavenger
lockdown.
into talent.
I think I wanted to cast Scavenger talent and then just not cast Nightmare.
Where are we putting the counters? Both on Pixie?
I like both on Pixie.
By the way, there was some chance that we were supposed to just go for nightmaring anyways.
Yeah. I didn't do that much math. Maybe I should have done some math.
Because, like, the Omniscience deck can have some counting problems, you know?
Yes. Okay, would you like to cast Pixie or not really? The answer might be not really.
There's no Omni in the
The
graveyard, right?
reason I agree.
Okay. I guess, yeah, don't cast Pixie.
On the other hand, we can get 3 prowess triggers next turn. Okay, I think I want.
Oh, I guess it's not actually worse than to lockdown. Oh, yeah, we should
Yeah.
cast Pixie.
The reason to cast not to cast Pixie is maybe like you want your remaining bounce effects to always be nightmares, but I think that is not necessarily true.
Okay, well, there's now an Omni in the graveyard now.
Okay, we should split these counters in a way that,
Yeah.
like,
So put 0 on the otters.
okay, so, like, here. Okay, nice. It's so far, it feels like maybe I don't need to respect this matchup that much in sideboarding.
I agree. I will note that you will probably lose more game ones due to not knowing it's the Omni matchup in closed deck list.
Okay, that is fair.
Unwinnable from our side? Like, what do you mean unwinnable?
Okay,
I think
let's
it looked
mulligan.
winnable from both sides, but let's keep.
What would you like to bottom?
That's the question, isn't it?
I propose Restless Reef. It'll be fine.
We're on the draw.
Yeah.
Oh, is our plan turn 1? Are you just playing talent?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's bottom Restless Reef.
I'm pretty sure you just never want to cast Ghost Back Team, even if you have nothing else to do before turn 3. Maybe if you have stock up and then your turn 3 is spoken for, then maybe you want to cast it. I don't know.
Omni decks don't have that much vacuum removal.
Well, against this deck, there are a lot of temporary lockdowns. So.
No, I understand.
Such a.
Well, usually these Omni decks play 3 Arcavioses, and if they all go into the graveyard. Yeah, I suspect that Nicole really wanted to take the negate, but was kind of not allowed.
Okay, well, let's cast Pixie, I think.
Yeah, the Pixie talent.
Yeah.
The Oracle of Tragedy thing seems so fake to me, but, like, I guess I understand it. It's just like...
Well, the thing about Oracle of Tragedy is that actually a 1/3 that loots, and then loots again on death, is just like a good card in the deck. So it costs you like basically nothing to actually put in your deck.
Uh-huh. But, like, surely there are other things that we can play, right? Maybe there aren't.
Okay, well...
I believe we are obligated to make a particular play this turn.
We
Okay,
are being a little punished for this bottom land thing, but
I agree. I don't know what we like.
yeah, I don't know what our other option was.
I
Like
think the
you
other
could
option
bottom.
was bottom Pixie, for the record.
I guess.
Like, like the other option is bottom Pixie with the plan to find a Pixie off of stock up. You know.
Hmm. Hmm.
Well, it's good to cast Nightmare, certainly. But I guess we
Well,
could hold up
yeah.
town.
Yeah. Town has a nice property of protecting us against temp lockdown.
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should just attack and pass.
I kind of want to like, but like our hand is really so like Nightmaring doesn't have that much value yet.
Yeah, I agree.
I understand that it like
I
spends
think
our
like
mana,
I think like the way we
but like
lose is like lockdown, right?
yeah. Do you think hard caps or copias get size? It doesn't get.
Wow, so much lag. We have such good stream quality.
Hmm.
I assume the card we exile is Arcavius.
I suppose. Wait, why? For Oracle of Tragedy reasons?
Yeah? Like, I don't know, there's too many copies of the other cards, basically, for it to matter.
I guess so.
Okay, are we like using it to tame or no? I think no.
It does like push damage, but I
What?
agree with no.
Nice. Let's tap out for a stock up. I believe there is no way to get
Yeah, I guess
punished.
that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Well, exercise, or yeah, there's no way to get punished.
Yeah.
Let's take land and uh,
I think fear.
yeah, I agree.
We don't really need a third to tame, I don't think. We could also take Nightmare so we... Actually, maybe it was Nightmare so we could go Nightmare, hold up the tame next turn.
Yeah, could have been Nightmare.
I was thinking that fear is mostly better than Nightmare, but, like, it does cost 2 more mana.
Mm-hmm.
Stock up?
Sure. Okay. Well, this could be removed at instant speed with something. I don't exactly know what, but
It's like... I don't think those somethings exist that much.
what
Like,
should we do?
I would like to cast... Is it bad that I want to cast stock up here?
And then what would you like to do?
play duress if we find it. If not, play nightmare, and then we get to attack with our otters.
Okay. Notably, if there's like a disenchantment response, it could get bad.
Yeah, I agree. Nightmare untouched?
Um,
Or do we want scavenger? I kind of don't want scavenger, but
yeah, I kind of don't want scavenger either. So are we? So I guess we're just casting this so that we can attack,
yeah.
even though there might be some problems. I don't know. Basically, I can't actually think of the instance we disenchant, so I'm not going to play around it.
Like, there is literally disenchant.
Yes. My guess is that literally disenchant is not a card that people play. We could also get punished by. I guess not.
No, we could get punished by double Omni.
Yeah, double Omni into like exercise or the temple lockdown.
Okay, yeah,
Would punish.
this line was probably bad, but
Yeah.
well, the thing is like, okay, actually, the thing is like, it's not the casting nightmares that's bad into this line. It's specifically the casting stock up. But I don't know if we're allowed to not cast stock up there. Is the problem.
Yeah.
And it looks like we're not
Okay,
getting
nice. You're right.
punished.
Mm-hmm.
I do love to like constantly be like very scared that we're about to be punished and then never get punished.
I agree.
And like the thing is the stock up, like if the stock up finds duress or another vacuum, like everything is fine. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we go nightmare bounce lockdown.
Uh,
I guess we don't need to bounce lockdown right now.
maybe should
Why?
because of negate.
Well, we have two.
Oh, I guess so. Well, how about double negate?
Well, there's
I
not
understand that.
there's not that much mana over there.
Yeah, but like if she passes, then double negates,
Fair enough.
or like now she can just pass the turn.
We've seen one negate in the graveyard, but yeah, fair enough.
That is true. Okay.
That seems fine.
People do play disenchant. I see.
Victory.
Hmm.
Should we play matches with the assumption, like, that we cannot keep game one hands that aren't we need to mulligan game one as if in the blind? Or is that
I feel like
silly?
we have. I feel like we have been mulling mostly just hands that exist. I don't know. I don't think we have like been particularly mulliganing in Omni specific ways,
Fair enough.
or at least like the hands we have seen. Like obviously, like basically the class of hands that you that would end up occurring is just like nowhere to run hands, but like we haven't gotten those yet. Okay, this is an interesting hand.
Oh yeah, can we keep this because we keep this in the blind?
Would you?
Would actually that I guess that's the question. Would we keep this in the blind? I guess not on the draw.
Yeah, my guess
Maybe
is
not on the
that
play
this is
either.
just a. Well, it might be a keep on the play in the blind.
Yeah.
I might keep like any hand with stock up on the play in the blind, to be honest. But I think this is a more on the draw.
Okay, we would keep this
This
in the
is a
blind.
keep. This is definitely a keep in the blind. What is being bottomed though?
How do you feel about town?
It's probably a town. Okay. We could cast a 1/1. I don't think we should.
I don't think we should cast a 1/1. Do you think we're gonna cast Momentum Breaker next turn? I guess so.
Probably. I mean, I guess we should cast Memento Breaker in the absence of anything else to do.
Yeah, it's like either cast Momentum Breaker or cast a 1/1 or cast a 2/3 that tells us back a land. I
Yeah. So certainly, I don't want to put us back a land.
Yeah.
Okay, let's cast stock up.
I agree.
Not perfect.
Let's take Scav Nowhere or Scav Land. Maybe I want Scav Nowhere. I think our hand might be anemic enough that we maybe want some like interaction to like try scam a little or something.
And we're just too far away to scam. I guess we
Like,
could
what are we doing
draw
next
untapped
turn?
land.
like next turn we're casting Scav. Are we also casting Pixie picking up thing, or are we holding up 2 mana?
Well, we don't have 2 white mana, notably.
Oh.
This is one reason I might want this land. Like, this nowhere doesn't really help until we have 4 mana, yeah? Because we already have town up.
I mean, it helps in that we can like spend the nowhere instead of spending the town, you know? Like there are some textures of hands which go for it twice, you know? Or there might be situations where like we need to use the town to like save our stuff from a lockdown or whatever. I don't know.
I'm worried this is wrong, but we can do it.
If it were an untapped land, I would take it.
Yeah.
I'm a lot less enthused about another top land, I guess, but Oracle of
Hmm.
Tragedies. Well, there's an Omni.
Do you want to hold up two things?
No, I think that's too anemic. I think that if we hold up two things, we don't win.
Well,
I would like to play our two white spells and hold up one thing.
oh, I guess we could do that. Yeah, okay.
Like, yeah, I don't know. There aren't infinite counter spells.
Well, it's exponentially harder for it to deal with, or like some scaling factor of harder to deal with to combo through two things on one thing.
I understand. I don't think that we are allowed to like. I, I believe that if there is a count, like I think we need our best route to victory is pretending that there is no counterspell and with no counterspell or second Omni in Nicole's hand. You know, or that like after the counterspell there is like no there's not enough follow up, that kind of thing. You know. Hmm. Those are not two cards I wanted to see. I will say.
Hmm.
A negate, huh? Do we need to kill this? Okay.
Oh, well, I don't really see how that would have felt. I guess.
Pushes damage, mostly. Well, I guess now we know we need to hold up two things.
Yes. Oh, is Grand Abolisher a wizard? Is that why is that why it's like is that why Cavern is playable? Because it like
I have no idea.
okay, let's cast Nowhere to Run. Or maybe we should cast Town.
Uh,
Because of the face of negate.
sure.
Oh, no, this is wrong. The town is better in her hand than in
Sorry, what's better in her hand? What?
the omniscience is better in her
Uh,
hand than in her graveyard.
oh, sure.
So
Apparently, chat lets us know that it is a human cleric.
I see.
Okay, well, counterpoint, this gives us interaction next turn. Because we can bounce to
Uh,
nowhere.
oh, that is true.
I think it's like a hard question. Oh, that's interesting.
Um,
Okay, I would like to propose that um I would like to propose that we cast two fears and hold up
okay.
Destroy Evil.
I like cast two fears.
One of them bouncing a land, one of them bouncing a nowhere.
Uh, What would you like to target? Is it just fear here? Given that there's a blast zone, or do we need to push some damage? How about 1 on Pixie, 1 on fear?
I like 1 on Pixie and then attack.
Okay.
And then see what happens.
I probably should not have tapped this case, even though it probably will not matter at all.
Why not?
Or, like, there might be some cases where I might want to spend 2 white mana.
Oh, sure.
But probably not.
Wow, we're so speedy. Okay, but which fear are we putting it on?
Hmm.
Do you think that Nicole's gonna go for it because she can put in okay.
Okay, well, this...
Is it better to kill
There
it?
is just an...
Hmm?
No, the land drop has not been made yet, right?
Okay, yeah, so we let this happen?
Yeah,
Even though it does give a Oracle trigger?
yeah. Okay, let's cast Destroy Evil, I assume. We should probably do that.
How scared should we be of it getting countered?
This is game 1, right? So my guess is not.
Okay.
Oh, it could be countered by Riddle. I understand.
Yeah.
Um,
Has a riddle been cast this game?
no. I feel like a Riddle getting cast on this means that a Riddle is not getting cast on something else, you know?
Okay, sure.
I guess you could, like, try to draw a land,
I think
but I kind of just, like,
yeah, let's
feel
just
like we need to, yeah.
I was also thinking we could like try to like play Momentum Breaker, like cause a discard to happen first, but I don't know.
Oh. Maybe?
Okay, are we picking something up?
I would like to pick the Scotland drop, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then we can put some counters, like, on Fears, probably.
Then Blast Zone probably ticks to 2. Let's put 1 on Pixie, 1 on Fear. Like spread it out.
Oh, okay. I forgot Boston was allowed to tick to 2.
Mm-hmm. I am a little worried about being shields down technically right now.
Do you want to just cast all our spells and then hopefully it'll be fine? Okay, so this is 8 damage right now. I want to cast some of our spells, probably, right?
Yeah, the Momentum Breaker.
I guess it just doesn't help, right? Because it's 6 versus 5, and then like
it helps because of the discard from Momentum Breaker.
There's no discard from Momentum Breaker.
No, you nowhere the 1/3. Nowhere has no text anymore.
Oh.
Or very little text.
Why not?
Okay, sorry. I guess nowhere. If there's an Abuelos in hand, nowhere doesn't have text because the Omni will.
Oh, because.
But if Nicole has to spend mana looking for it, then the nowhere will have text. I guess that means we should
Yeah,
hold up nowhere.
yeah.
But
I think it's better to. I think it's too likely that
we should cast
should we
Scav
cast this?
though. Yeah, we should cast Scav. Like
Okay,
we would rather Scav and Pixie get blown up than Two Fears, right?
I suppose. I see. Oh, should we counter this?
It gives a. I don't like that. Wait, like why are we
Yeah.
countering this?
Um, you surveil to you
So we give a loot
don't
instead of
surveil to.
like we're spending our nowhere to like dig one card less deep, right?
I got okay. Yeah, yeah. The number's too valuable. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. Like there needs to be exactly a full price of blood this year. Or obviously like lockdown. That's not a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, it's a better sign. Do you think we're gonna get there by attacking with Restless Reef?
Possibly.
Oh, okay. Okay, we have died.
Okay. Fair enough. My guess is that Stonebreed will not end up in my deck list, given how these games have gone so far. But do you think we should change anything about how we're playing, or not really?
Wait, did we want the one Loran or no?
Well, previously we
Oh,
had
right, yeah,
two
okay,
Destroy
I see,
Evils.
I see.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
I forgot we made that change. My suspicion would be I would still want a Stone Brain, but
Hmm.
what's the name of Stone Brain? Omniscience.
Okay, I want. Do you want to keep or no?
We're on the play.
There are certainly ways this can go wrong, especially
How do you feel
considering the
about
card's temporary
experimental keep?
lockdown. We can keep. I'm not sure we'll learn that much from how the game's actually from how the game actually plays, because I assume we will win if there's not a lockdown, and lose if there is a lockdown.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to split up these counters or not? For disposal reasons or not really?
Not really. The dispersal's good against otters anyways, I think.
Yeah.
We could also not attack, but that's a little unhinged.
Yeah. I think it's too unhinged. Hmm. Do you think we'll just die on turn 4 anyway?
Um, Not if we. I mean, I guess yeah, we might still.
Hmm.
It's very funny.
I don't think it makes sense to like we could have considered like playing to like show that there's like two introduction calls up,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
you
I
can't.
in
Yeah,
fact thought of that, but I was like, no, that's bad.
yeah.
Okay, let's concede.
Yes. Hmm. Okay. Well, I'm not entirely sure if there were conclusions to be made from that game too. I don't know. It is like 4 lands, which is not a combination with Optimistic Scavenger. Oh wait, should we be keeping track of play draw? Probably should. We should have been doing that. It's fine. I assume this is a keep.
Like in the blind, yeah. It probably even is a keep in the not blind, right?
Mm-hmm. I think I agree.
Hmm. Turn 1 mil Omni, I see.
Hmm. Okay. Um. Hmm.
Oh, is the question whether we want to keep open town?
Yes.
I think we're not supposed to because we want to keep open 2 things next turn. And the only thing we'd town is against lockdown.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be like really good?
I don't know. There's an Omni in the graveyard. I don't think we can afford that.
Are you sure? Like,
How about this? What if we play tap land this turn, attack for 3, play on tap land next turn, attack for 3? Is that what you want to do?
no, I want to. Hmm. I want to play on tap land and hope to draw on tap land.
Uh-huh. I don't like that.
It's like what I don't like about this line is that it made Foxen extremely good against us, like on this turn, instead of like pretty bad. And I'm not sure like I really want to like make plays with the goal of holding up 2 things when it might
Sure.
not work.
Okay, that's fair.
But I don't know. I might be right. It's kind of complicated.
Can we at least attack first?
There's an option to use town to get in 1 more damage,
Uh, okay, we can play
but that's
untap games.
all.
Wait, we can do your line.
Well, I'm not sure it's right. It was more like
If there wasn't an Omni in the graveyard, I would definitely like your line.
yes. I just think like it's too unlikely for two things to act like.
Wait, I think it's pretty likely for two things to actually work.
I don't think it's that likely against a full hand. Like
Like
it's like if you have
the only relevant spells are another Omni and Counterspell, right?
yes,
Was that a second Omni in the graveyard?
yes.
Lol. Like,
Oh, I think we should spend one on me to, or we should spend a town to be able to get in if we don't draw land. I think because the second town is not that valuable.
sure.
I don't know. We can ask Nicole if two things would have stopped her.
Yeah. I think the answer is yes. If this is the first thing cast.
That's fair, but there was an Omni bin, which could have been not bin.
Well, maybe it was a land that was taken. And also, like,
That is
Nicole
true.
didn't make decisions based on what we did, right? Like,
That's true. I guess that is true.
right? Like, Nicole decided to not take the second Omni.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe it was Arcavios taken off of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
I guess it just works. That's another valid option.
Would you say that we have directly won because of our choice then?
No, I would not say that. In that, wouldn't we have done, like, I'm pretty sure we would definitely still have lethal this turn.
Well, we wouldn't be able to count on the end step and get another other in play. Oh, I guess
We would have lethal, I'm pretty sure.
maybe we would have had lethal.
I think we would have had it. I'm not sure. Another thing about Omni is like the more resource, like the cards that they spend like countering your interaction are cards that they're not spending digging towards their combat, right? Like I suspect like the Omni that was put in the graveyard, like over like a. Can we keep this?
It's possible we can keep this. It does contain the card stock up.
Yeah. Anyways, I was saying like cards that they spend like interacting with your like countering your interaction are cards that they're not spending like digging towards like other things, right? Like
Yeah.
it does require many pieces.
Okay. What if we're meant to keep?
Would you like to try keeping this?
I'm worried we should try to mulligan to a sideboard card.
Well, is stock up a sideboard card maybe?
No.
Like you could argue that stock up looks at enough cards to like be a sideboard card.
Yeah, unfortunately, you have to cast it on turn 3, which doesn't help against you dying on turn 4.
Yeah, but you don't always die on turn 4.
Yeah. Okay. We can try to keep it for science or something.
Certainly, it's possible we're doing too many of these science keeps, but like, I'm a
Yeah.
fan of science keeps. Okay, this time we didn't get turn one Omni'd, or turn one Omni and graveyarded. Classic.
Okay, let's cast stock up.
I agree.
What? I assume we should do it off of this land because we might want to play this land
Yeah.
next turn.
Do you think our stock up's gonna get counted? Okay.
Okay,
And we
well,
mulligan,
let's
so we
take.
don't have to discard. Duress stock up.
I agree.
Wow, it's the moment of truth, truly.
Nice, they're not dead.
Why lab Pixie versus Omni instead of Saragon versus Omni? Well, because like CFT plays Pixie, and I'm the one who plays Saragon, but CFT plays Pixie. And I already know how the Saragon versus Omni matchup goes. It's great if you play Stonebrains. Wait, but actually, no, I don't know. Okay, well,
Um,
let's cast Duress.
we could choose not to cast Duress, but I guess that's probably too silly.
Yeah, I feel like
I just,
Dur
the card negate is pretty likely, but I guess it
like we're not
like
gonna
does like
if we run Duress into negate, we're not gonna like die or anything, right? And like presumably our Duress will
yeah.
take a negate at some point then, right?
Okay. What would you like to take?
Uh, I would like to take. How do you feel about take Abuelos?
Probably take a Bola.
There's another Abuelos in the graveyard as well, I will note.
Yes,
And then let's cast stock up.
I agree. Okay, let's take Nightmare Scavenger? Or we could take Nightmare Untapped Land and be able to Nightmare plus Kaido next turn.
I don't like taking land when we have 3 lands in hand. I'm
I
not
agree that like
I'm
is
not in
not.
a rush to Nightmare, I guess. There are like 2 lands over there as well in hand.
Well, the nice part about Nightmare and oh, I guess the negate is still in the hand. Never mind. Okay, let's take Nightmare Scavenger.
Yeah.
Okay, let's cast Scavenger and then cast Nightmare, I assume.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, I guess another option is maybe Nightmare is better than Kaito right now.
Like
But
the
that's
other
probably a
option is to
little bit silly.
cast Kaido. I don't think I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Nicole's last one. So after this, we should have Nicole back in voice chat, and then
Mhm.
we can wrap up.
Oh, this is resolved? Okay. I guess that makes sense. Okay, considering that this disable will not work, let's cast Sphere of Isolation.
I agree.
Where do you think the counter should go?
on the scav because we're Kaidoing the fear.
Oh, I guess so. Okay. We didn't really get any of the like Nightmare the Entire Hand games.
Nope.
I feel like those games sometimes occur, but
Stock up, riddle. Take stock up. Okay.
okay.
What's in there? What's in Nicole's graveyard? There's no Omni still?
No Omnis. There is a temporary lockdown.
Okay. So I don't really want to cast Nightmare.
Okay. Let's start with
Attack
attack
Kaido?
and then Kaido then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attack Kaido 0, let's see what's up.
I have an update. I don't believe in Stonebrain. Because we have too much card selection that costs mana.
Wait. I would argue that this was a game where like I don't know, if this Kaido was a Stonebrain, we would like just win on the spot here.
Okay, but Kaido would not be a Stonebrain. And
What?
if we
Are you sure that Kaido wouldn't be a Stonebrain?
Yes.
Okay, I would like to. I'm very amused. I would like to keep the Stonebrain.
I would like to know. I would much rather the Stonebrain be a Duress.
Sure.
I agree. We should keep it though.
Are we keeping Untapped Land too, or no?
I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. I don't think so. And then we cast nothing
I think we cast nothing.
because Charter Course needs to occur for a. And so, oh wait, that doesn't.
So, okay, so we definitely do not cast Nightmare.
Wait, shouldn't we cast the Stonebrain?
Sure. Let's cast the Stonebrain. The main reason not to is it could get killed.
Yes, but there is a face of negate.
Yeah. Okay, we're not dead.
Okay, I guess the Stonebrain did turn out to be nice.
Yeah, it did win. Nicole says,
I'm
I
not-
cannot beat the Stonebrain. Hello, Nicole. Welcome back.
Hello.
I forgot I was on push to talk. I would like to acknowledge that while I did lose this match to the Stonebrain, that I had 25 cards remaining in my library and had not seen a single Omniscience.
I agree.
I don't know what. Okay, so I did learn that this deck is a little harder than I give it credit for. Omniscience. I definitely made some amount of play mistakes.
Mhm.
But I don't know. Pixie vibes are also good, I think.
I agree.
The Pixie vibes are impeccable, I would say.
Immaculate. I good immaculate Pixie vibes. Yeah, I think a lot of the time, like Pixie has good ways to interact with this deck. And like this deck does have ways to kind of set up ways against that. I do think we should test it probably more. But I do think that Pixie has some good plans, and I think Stonebrain should be a card that people register more.
I was like not really sure if Stonebrain was better than Duress, I guess.
Um,
For
I
whole
think I could
mana.
have won that game if that was duress. I definitely could not win that game if it was Stone Brain.
Yeah, but like also like if it was duress, we couldn't have it would be much harder to like die in that turn.
Yeah, I guess so. I did win the game if I milled an omniscience there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I had 2 negates. If I had omniscience, or if I hit omniscience on that mill, I still had it. But
Yeah, it seems to me like definitely the best cards are between Duress and Stonebrain, and Ghost Vacuum. Um,
Hmm.
Ghost Vacuum was very oppressive. It was very difficult to deal with. Like basically my only answer to Ghost Vacuum at any given point in time was temp lockdown.
And Blaststone, yeah.
And so like
yeah, there was a game where we were talking about like you put a Ghost Vacuum on their temp lockdown, and then we were talking about like some scenarios where you could go for it. Wouldn't we could like respond by bouncing the temp lockdown and then like exiling the Omni if you tried to reanimate it. But then you hard cast an Omni, and then we bounce your 2 Omnis instead.
yeah, I knew you could bounce the 2 omnis, but there was like not really anything I could do about it.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
Hmm.
for it that turn. And that was another game. Like I think I messaged you at some point. There were 8 cards in my library I didn't know. I knew all of the cards on the bottom, and I had seen, and you had exiled 1 omniscience that game. And in the 8 cards remaining in my library, there were 3 copies of omniscience. So while I do think vibes are a little better, um, I will say that like from the amount of times I've played this omniscience deck, that it did feel like I was incredibly low rolling. The deck just has a lot of selection, and at no point did I ever really have the things that like there were. I wish I recorded it. I think there were 4 or 5 times I cast stock up, and it was 5 lands. But that's all part of the game. Pixie's still immaculate. I love that deck. Omniscience is broken in best of 1.
True.
It is much worse once you sideboard against it. I think those are my thoughts. I'm not sure if you guys are done, but have a good stream. Goodbye, stream.
Yeah, we're probably going to wrap up now. I think what I would say is that what I would say is that like if um sorry, I think one of the ways that you can lose more to omniscience is if you're too respectful of it. Because I think it's weird, like it's the kind of combo matchup, like every matchup against omniscience is like the kind of combo matchup where you need to like decide exactly how much respect that you want to pay towards it, right? And like for example, the last game, we kept a hand on the draw with stock up, destroy evil, 5 lands, and that is somewhat of a disrespectful hand because we could theoretically die turn 4. But I think that like you just like have to take those chances sometimes. I don't know, like yeah,
Certainly, like I feel like in some percentage of the games, you just have to accept that if you die in turn 4, then you die in turn 5, and then it's similar to like sometimes you play against Zur, and then you're just like, well, if they Zur me on turn 4, then I'll die, but I'm not gonna respect it. Especially like there are a lot of patterns involving Kaido like this, where like if they have Zur, then you'll lose, but you just have to like hope they don't have Zur. And
yeah,
I think it's like kind of similar with this.
yeah. You have basically that like there's like a theory of playing against combo decks that bouncing around my mind of like you really have to like pick your spot. You have to like really pick your window where like you need to figure out at what point in the game you need to go shields down in order to like apply more pressure so that you can keep shields up like later, right?
Yeah.
Um and like in in some cases, you can decide that you never need to go shields down. If you're correct about that, that's really good for you, right? But
Mhm.
like that game we were playing where like we played it's half like wondering whether we should try to hold up 4 mana on turn 4, and we took your line which like held up 2 mana on turn 3 and then 2 mana again on turn 4. Was it like that was certainly an interesting spot. I still don't know which one was correct, but
Mhm. I also don't know which one is correct.
yeah, I think that like I don't know. I'm not that worried about Omni, I guess.
I agree. I'm not that worried, and therefore I'm worried about no matchups. I think. Um,
Same, except
my
from the Saragon side.
my guess is that this exact list is undermapped against red, and I want some card like Preacher or Shieldred. And my other guess is that I don't need 4 sideboard cards in this matchup. And 3 is sufficient.
Uh-huh.
But
Wait, wait. Currently you have. Oh, you're not counting the Destroy Evils as sideboard cards for this matchup. You're saying the Duresses and Vacuums.
yes,
Okay.
because I like obviously these come in other matchups, but I would not register them if the deck did not exist.
The question of who is favored in Pixie versus Saragon is complicated. I think it is heavily dependent on how both decks are built
To
and
do a cage
played.
matchup. Do you want to do a cage matchup?
We could. I feel like there are more interesting things to do, but like we could.
Yeah, we'll see.
For example, there's still that Vance idea or whatever floating around,
Yeah,
right? But
we still have
yeah.
that deck.
Or Sultai? I don't know what colors those are now. Is it fun? Is it fun, Claire?
Hmm.
But yeah, yeah. I think that's all for
Yeah.
us today.
Hmm.
Um, Tomorrow we're streaming earlier, right?
Yes.
Like 2 hours earlier than our start time because I have D&D tomorrow. Um, so I want to finish up early. Um, you can check out our VODs on YouTube. I remembered to upload some of the later ones. I'll try to remember to upload this one as well. Um, if you want to see more of our content. I guess we should raid someone. Imagine raiding someone. Uh, I'm bad at choosing someone to raid. Help. We could raid. Uh, sure. Let's raid Caleb D, who is playing Vintage Cube.
Um, what is the most overrated slash underrated deck in Standard right now? I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. What are some decks that are in
Wait,
Standard?
is that the right one? No, that's not the right one. Cancel the raid. Raid Caleb D MTG. There we go. Caleb is playing Vintage Cube. The answers I said were overrated domain, underrated. I don't know. There's a lot of answers. Obviously, I'm gonna say Saragon, but like, I don't think it's particularly more underrated than like I don't know a random deck that no one has thought about. it's
Hmm.
it's a tricky question to answer because it's like I don't know. People don't really think that deeply about deck selection, so there are a lot of underrated and overrated decks, and it's unclear like the question is not necessarily which deck is the best deck that no one plays. The question is what's the biggest difference between how much people play it and how good it is, or something, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there. I'm not sure. I mostly just think Pixie is a better deck than everything else right now, is my opinion. So I don't know
Even
how
if
to answer
that's
that
true,
question.
that doesn't mean it's the most underrated deck, you know?
I agree.
But I mean, I think that Pixie is. I think that Pixie and Saragon would be my top choices. But yeah. Anyways, I think we rated. But
Mm-hmm.